I sense something strange in my mind, yeah. Situation is serious. Let's cure it, 'cause we're running out of time. It's all so beautiful. Relationships, they seem from the start, yeah. It's all so deadly when love is not together from the heart. Check it out, it's driving me out of my mind. That's why it's hard for me to find. Can't get it out of my head. Miss her, kiss her, love her. Don't move, you're dead. That girl is poisonous. Never trust a big button smile. That girl is poisonous. If I were you, I'd take precaution before I step to meet fly girls, you know. 'Cause in some poison, you think she's the best thing in the world. Oh, she's so black, she'll drive you right out of your mind. Steal your heart when you're blind. Beware, she's scheming, she'll make you thinking. She'll fall in love and you'll be screaming, demon. Hey, poisonous, deadly, moving it slow. Looking for a mellow fellow like DeVoe. Getting paid late, so better lay low. Scheming on house money and the whole show. The low pro should be cut like an afro. See what you're saying, she's a winner to you, but I know she's a loser. How do you know? Me and the crew used to do her. Poison, 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 poison. I was at the park shake, breaking and taking them all. And that night I played the wall, checking out the fellas, the highs and lows, keeping one eye open, still rocking the hoes. There was one particular girl that stood out from the rest. Poison ass can be with a high power chest. Michael Bivins here, and I'm running the show. Bell Biv DeVoe. Now you know. Yo, slick blow. It's driving me out of my mind. That's why it's hard for me to find. Can't get it out of my head. Miss her, kiss her, love her. Wrong move and you are dead. That girl is poisonous. Never trust a big butt and smile.
What's up, everybody? What's going on?
What's going on? You're getting fancy with these videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. My name is Ron. I'm with Kingdom Christmas Lights and ChristmasContractor.com. We started this here Christmas business in 2018 in Houston, Texas. And always got my wife by my side, Miss Laura Robey.
Yes.
Hey, Laura.
You. Happy Wednesday.
My beautiful wife, Laura. Look at that smile. Oh, look at that smile over there. Huh? Today's tax day, and it's April 15th. Today's tax day. And if anyone knows anything about tax day, it's something like this.
Govern me harder, Daddy. I love tax day.
Govern me harder, Daddy.
Govern me harder, Daddy. I love tax day.
I'm very curious why that Vaseline is wiggling so much.
I know. I was just thinking, you know what? Screw it. It's good enough. It's close enough.
It's
close enough. You get the point.
Kind of nasty.
Yeah, you get the point. But anyway, it's tax day. So tax day is not our favorite day of the year, to say the least. But give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. Right, John Cena?
Right.
Give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and give to Christ what belongs to Christ, right?
That's true.
Yeah. So let's not worry too much about tax day. We're moving forward. We got our taxes done finally. Did a last little look over. I think we're good to go. And now it's on to what?
Finishing the house.
Finishing the house. We still have the fire department project. Got to go to the fire department, do some more recording for that.
Oh, yeah.
And what else we got going on?
I mean, farm news, the chickens are getting so big, they're jumping out of their trough.
The jumping out the trough?
Yeah, the bigger of the little ones.
Yeah. I got some other news too.
Oh, yeah. What's that? Is there something good?
Legacy Mike. Anybody ever heard of Legacy Mike?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Legacy Mike is going to be interviewing with us next Wednesday. So if you want to see Legacy Mike, he's going to be on the show with us.
Okay.
Yeah, we missed a couple of masterminds. It'd be nice to see kind of where he is and how he got there, but we're going to find that one out next Wednesday. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, did you see yesterday was somebody's birthday?
I did.
Yeah. It was actually in our office.
Happy birthday, Armando.
So this is like exactly what our office looks like. This picture right here. It's like got dual stations is where I'm at currently, and that's where Laura's at currently. If you're looking at the office there, and so Armando was in studio, right?
He was sitting in my station.
Yeah, he was in the studio, and I'm telling you what, man, he's got this thing like, where's the camera? And so like the camera is like below my screen, so the camera is right there, and he goes, okay, so he focused on that thing like a microscope, and he just sat there and just talked to you and just stared into that camera the whole entire time. He's like an unbelievable speaker.
He is very good.
Yeah. And everyone who came in contact with him here in Houston, they all said he's the best trainer they've ever heard.
Yes, he's
speak.
A very good trainer. Very good. I learned a lot, and I've been through the class a couple times. I learned more. It's awesome.
Yeah, no,
I love that.
Very, very good,
very
Armando.
Thorough.
So happy birthday.
And happy birthday, Armando.
Armando, thanks, man. Time for my birthday dance. Let's see. Yeah! Best birthday ever. Keep going. You're killing it.
Yeah, so that's Armando. Yeah. Sometimes just things get out of hand at the office.
The first time I saw the video, the guy in the background was like clapping along. I didn't realize he was like tagged in with Armando, but it was really funny.
Yeah, it's like it's not exactly like good, but I don't know if it has anything on the Nutcracker market.
No, that was hilarious too.
Yeah,
that's funny. The shark ones was still my favorite. I think it might have been.
All right, let's dance.
The first
1,
one.
2, 3, go.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of funny. I know Angie Merle, so David's wife, Angie.
She's like, what the heck?
What the heck? And so I was like, Angie, you're a good dancer. Anyone ever told you that? And so they all had something to say, but I think they watched it as a family from what we heard on Easter. Yeah, so
fun times.
Yeah, what else do we got here? We got a couple of them. Oh, that one that we were in China was pretty fun. It was like, I kept saying like, no, I want everyone to look at us with a puzzled look as we say, hello, 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 and of course Chinese. So that's
Ni hao.
Ni hao.
你好，
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 你好。
So apparently this is Vietnamese clothing and we weren't even in China. So there you go.
Yeah, you got to take that shit up with Gronk or ChatGPT or something. You got to take that up with them.
I had no idea, but now I know.
Yeah, but I think a more hood type of Lar is what we were all looking for.
Were you looking for more hood?
Yeah, more like this, like straight walking down, like not taking no for an answer.
I mean,
not waving hello to people as they pass you by.
I mean, they're starting to make me look more like me, but they definitely don't look like you. Like they've come up with some crazy stuff.
Yeah, one last one. We're gonna get into this content, but one last one.
All right, last one.
I mean, you got to do that kind of stuff.
Yes, because exciting news. Ron finally got the Tolaris fixed again. We'll see how long it lasts this time.
Yeah, we got to fire it up. I already started going down.
You already started going down some stuff. I'm like, well,
it wasn't as dramatic as that video, but it was
close.
death-defying, I would say. All right, cool. All right, so we have that screen up. Let's see here. So what we're doing is we're going to be talking about the video where we did the interview. I think it was August 3rd with Steven Martinez and the American Dream podcast is what this is. All right, so let's see here. This is also live on Kingdom Christmas Lights right now. It just premiered, so this is just a reaction. So we're going to throw it up there. It already had a time to marinate a little bit. I think it might be right here. Let's see.
Marinate.
We got no Cezanne.
Ron, Kingdom Christmas Lights. Yes. Long time, man. Here with another
little premiere.
Okay.
Hey guys, welcome back. Here with another special guest, my boy Ron, Kingdom Christmas Lights. Yes. Long time, man. It's long overdue. We should have had that. It sure comes on everything.
Yeah, no. Just ripping right out of this like Hulk Hogan, rest in peace.
Yeah, that was like a week ago, a few days ago.
Yeah, it was, I think growing up, so this is like a professional studio, like professional studio. Let's take this down for a second. I'll show you some pictures. I mean, when he said come over for, we'll do a podcast, I seen that he had a studio, but I didn't know it was a green screen and a bunch of effects. It's a real like TV studio. Drive on that one, Laura.
I'm working on it. I didn't pre-drive, so let me get over here.
Yeah, so it's like a badass studio with the full on green room and waiting area and different conference rooms and different offices, and every single office has a 3-4 screen setup, and then you go to the back room and has the dressing room with all the mirrors on the wall with all the lights, so you can have makeup artists and it's like the whole freaking thing. Research team, it's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing. Let me see if I can put this. Let me see if I did it.
Yeah, so was it Primacom TV?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this is the main waiting area where you're waiting to go in.
Yeah, so the studio's on the right, but this is pretty top shelf. I was very impressed.
Very nice. Very nice place.
I think they do the Univision or Telemundo or something, records their news in there.
And then this is the studio area. And this is them finishing up another interview.
Yeah. That guy was like, he did like vehicle wraps or something.
This is the man behind the curtain.
Yeah, dude. This picture right here, this was the picture that when I seen this, I said, oh my God, man, I need this. Like it's a full TV productions control room. I was like, I need this. And so what's that?
You don't need that.
I don't. No, I need all that. So like I said, I had said at the time, I was like, yeah, I've never really been jealous that much. But this guy's setup, definitely jealous. I'm definitely jelly on that one. And if I were to hit the lottery, he'd be getting his ass out of my seat. That'd be my recording studio tomorrow. So anyway. But all right. And yeah. So y'all was sitting in the back.
This is Ron's view from the platform.
35 minutes.
And getting a little set up. I didn't preview these beforehand, so.
No, it's all good. All right, so let's get to it.
Let's get to it.
All right, so let me see if I can head this back. All right.
Going back. That girl is poison with her big butt.
Can you take that one down? Let me see here. Remove that
There you
one.
go.
I got it right. Yeah. And let's get into it. I think growing up, I didn't have the G.I. Joe Kung Fu grip.
Yeah.
Like some of the rich kids had, but I did have the Hulk Hogan and I had the Randy Macho Man Savage
Nice.
back in the day. So,
let's talk about you, man. Let's talk about you. No more Hulk Hogan. You do something very specifically unique, and you're the best at it. Christmas lights installations. Tell me a little bit about your story and how you got into that in the first place.
Well, I mean, it's interesting when someone says like you're the best at it. I was like, yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't say that like I'm the best at it, but yeah, okay, go ahead. I'll let you tell the story.
I wish he had let you like have the questions beforehand so you could have been a little more prepared. That was my only.
Yeah,
lots of people let you prepare a little
he
bit. This
threw
is
me
cold.
Off. This is straight up asking questions. I didn't have any time to prepare anything for any of these. I think it's I love Christmas lights. My father, he was like Santa Claus. And so like, when you're a kid, you don't really realize this, but my dad would like dress up as Santa Claus and he would take his Harley Davidson motorcycle. Like, I'm not even on the motorcycle. He's like riding by himself with a Santa Claus suit. And he would like knock on people's doors and stuff and pass out candy to kids and stuff. This is when I was a young kid.
Oh, wow.
And my parents, to be perfectly honest, so like right here, I'm like, why the hell did I just share that stupid story? My sister had just told me the story like 3 days before.
Well, that's why you shared it.
And then I shared it. And then I got through the story going, but what's the point? And I just got nervous. And instead of saying, ask me another question, I just kept on talking. Yeah. I think they believe in Santa Claus more than any kind of religion or anything, especially at the time. So I grew up in the Christmas spirit, and Santa Claus was such a big thing. So it really didn't resonate with me until I got a little older, and that passion turned into a business.
Uh-huh.
So it started off with roofing. If you're doing, roofing, you're a roofer now.
Yeah.
iSmart Roofing.
iSmart Roofing, man.
So yeah, when you're roofing and you have all these roofers, you're not really roofing in the winter time. So it's like, what are you going to do to keep these guys busy? And it was like, well, how about we install Christmas lights? That started in 2012, and we did about 120, but you're fumbling through it. The passion that you have and the love that you have deteriorates because you're making all these mistakes, and it's financially, eating at you, and all these people who are happy or not happy with you because you're learning through the beginning stages. But I think the ups and downs and growing and then falling on your face and then you're failing your way through success. Success is found on top of a mountain of failure. I've found the mountain of failure, and I finally got on top of it. I met my beautiful wife, Laura, and that's when my life really changed in 2000. So like, there's still no more questions, right? There hasn't been any other questions. So
Ron's a talker.
I'm still talking, trying to figure out like how to like fucking take it home. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to take it home here, but just keep talking, Ron. You're doing a great job.
Ron.
Yeah, it's like, you're the best guest ever. 18. First time in Houston, Texas, we started over something that I knew how to do, is Kingdom Christmas lights. And then from there, we made our first $1 million 4 years later. And then we've been doing that ever since. And now we have a commercial property and we're chasing our dreams, but it all started with Christmas lights. And I think quite literally, it saved my life in many ways, but it changed our life. And it does that each and every season. Did you know if you really take your life seriously for the next 3 months, like if you just put away the video games and all that bullshit and whatever you think is important and your Netflix and all that stuff, if you just put all that stuff away for just 3 months, you can literally change your life. And that's how short the season is. And that's what kind of an impact you can have if you take it seriously.
So before you had the Christmas lights installation company.
So I finally let Steven talk, right? And so then I'm like, I'm kind of nervous, or I'm talking too much, or I could edit this part out, or, what were you thinking? You were like, babe, relax, calm down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to go like even further, more in depth, more.
Had the roofing company. How'd you get into the roofing company? And how long did you have the company for?
That one was kind of a touch and go story. It was really door knocking.
Okay.
It was really the art of sales and the psychology of sales and knocking doors, and you just become good at knocking doors. So you If you're good at it, you teach someone how to do it. And then if you teach someone how to do it, you run a small team, and you run a small team, then you're running a team of people running small teams. And then you're like this big person. I worked at AT&T. I was a branch manager, and I was in charge of a door knocking corporate. And we had like 30 employees that were door knockers, and I was running it, selling AT&T. And then from there, it was like, why don't you start selling roofing? And that turned into
Who told you that, though? That's super random.
Just door knocking.
Okay, you start to kind of see it.
Door knocking.
Okay.
I think a lot of people don't get into roofing because they're on a check-to-check mentality. And the roofing check doesn't come for about a month after the sale or somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yeah, for insurance.
And most people say, I'd love to get into roofing, but I can't go 4 weeks without getting a paycheck.
Yeah.
And so I was luckily in a situation at the time. That's how I got into roofing, knocking doors. And then once you start seeing how much money every roof is and how much money a fence project costs, you're like, I should start my own business. This is big money. I shouldn't be making $200 a sale selling AT&T. I should be making $2,000 a sale selling roofs, and things like that as a salesman. So that's where the light bulb went off, if you will, for roofing.
And then that transition from being in sales to an actual business owner, obviously more complicated. How was that?
The transition's easy. It's like $16 and you have a DBA and you're a business owner. And then the $50 to start a bank account. And then all of a sudden you have a DBA and a bank account. And now you're a business owner, and a little logo and a website. But it's more to it than that, of course, because you don't know what you're doing. You make a bunch of mistakes. There's a lot of liability. And most people, they make it, past maybe 1 or 2 months of, running your own business. And then you just, I like the comfort and security of having a paycheck. Some people don't have a choice but to do their own business, and that's kind of the situation that I was in. But starting your own business, it was interesting. It was cool making a lot of money like that and everything. But to say that I knew how to estimate, commercial projects and residential projects, I didn't. To say that I knew what I was doing, I didn't. I mean, to say that I fell on my face hard many times, I did. And those are the learning experiences that you get battle tested by fire. And believe me, I went down through hell and went through the fiery gates myself before I could actually figure out, don't do that. This works right here, that right there. Don't ever do that again. And that's kind of I think everyone's life story, but mine for sure.
So what do you think so far, Laura?
So I think that before this, you and I have always done live. We didn't pre-record our whatevers. And I think you probably could have said, okay, let me do over because I know this is recorded and we can edit this. There's a lot. It's just a lot.
Well, it's just kind of by the seat of your pants because the day before that, we're at these big estimates and then we're going to go see these other things. And then the next week we're about to leave and go to the Bahamas for a week or something. And it's just every single day it's something. And tomorrow it's this.
Couple months.
And this is August. Christmas is so heating up in August that it's I'm about to leave for a week. And doing this interview was cool. But the thing that really screams out to me is I went and got this beautiful haircut, like a good haircut, everything except for the good haircut part. And they butchered me up so bad they had it so short it looked like I was bald. Remember that lady?
Yeah, it was like the monk thingy.
There was a little patch in the front, there was a little patch of hair in the front. And then from there, I said, let's do short on the top, finger a little bit better than finger length, and then a little bit longer here in the front because I'm kind of going bald a little bit. And so it was a little teeny bit of hair here, and I was bald in the back, like a chia pet or something.
Scalped you. I mean, scalped.
Yeah, I said something wrong. Yeah. So then I'm like, shit, I got this interview coming. I wanted to look halfway decent, and now I got to wear a hat because I'm bald in the back. Anyway, that's kind of where we were there.
And then as you were doing the roofing, what made you see kind of a golden opportunity there with the Christmas light installation?
Well, Chris, he kept trying to get me to talk about roofing because he's in roofing, and I did roofing for a long time, but the last thing I want to talk to him about is roofing. But somehow I said roofing and it just went down from there. Yeah, went from there. Christmas lights, that's an interesting question. Christmas lights, the opportunity is that you can be busy and you can actually do something you love doing.
Because technically you answered
people
this
love
question.
Doing roofing. I think they love the money.
Yeah.
I think You love helping people out. There's always a story that someone can't afford the roof, and you were able to put a package together to help some person out that they couldn't have got the roof just between them and the insurance company. You actually step in like a legal professional that says, no, I'm gonna get the insurance company to make sure they take care of you. There is a reward with that, but nothing like Christmas lights. The stories that you hear when it's their last Christmas, or they got family coming in, or they haven't seen their son and he's been off at war and he's coming back and things like that. Those stories, they're real tear jerkers, and it really just becomes you become part of your client's Christmas traditions and stuff like that. And that's really opened up doors that I never thought was possible.
So that was the first year of starting the Christmas light installation company.
It was awesome. It was awesome. The worst part is when it ends. Mm-hmm. When it's over with, you're like, so everybody's like, so what are we doing now? You're like, I don't know. I guess we're going to go back to knocking doors for roofing, I guess. I mean, maybe we can sell these clients roofing, or maybe we can get into the fencing business. Because me personally, I'm not a roofer. And if you see me up on a steep roof, take a picture, because it doesn't happen. Fencing. I learned how to do fencing. And then when we started back in Houston, I built fences. I must have built 100 fences or 120 fences a year myself personally.
Now that's actually a fact.
Jack.
That's a fact. Your boy Ron's out there building fences. That is a FACT fact. Right, Bo?
Yeah. I built a couple with you when we first started.
No, for sure.
I was the helper.
Yeah. But those are kind of the fencing business. The reason why we got out of it is, one, because I'm fat and out of shape, and working out in the Texas heat is a lot. But another reason is because it's hard to hire somebody on that skilled labor to do those gates and to do that fence perfect. And the materials are so expensive. If you say, you know how to do it?
Yeah.
You know how to do it? Okay. All right. Well, here's the materials. And then here's what we want. And then you mess it up. Those are like $6,000, $7,000 mistakes, because you can't like repurpose what you messed up. So I end up having to do like every damn thing myself. And that was the downfall, I think, with fencing. But it did catapult me to the point I could buy a commercial property. But as soon as we got the property, we quit day one.
So with the installation light company, as you're growing it, how do you dominate a space like that? It's a very unique space.
For what?
See, this was interesting too, because I knew that I would end up playing this sometime, and I knew that if I was trying to freestyle, like, yeah, I'm the best at Christmas lights. Ain't nobody better than me. I'm the best at ever been, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah, you're right. You got the right one on the podcast. You heard me? If I would have said some shit like that, I probably wouldn't hear the end of it. You know what I mean? Not that anyone would hear it, but today you are. But I don't know. It's like, dominate the market. I don't want to make any false claim. I don't make any false claims. So listen to what I had to say here.
Christmas light installation.
Dominating the market. I don't know that anyone can dominate the Houston market. The Houston market's probably one of the biggest markets in the planet, probably, for Christmas lights, between Florida and Houston and DFW. I would say there's probably about 2 million people that have Christmas lights on their house in Houston. And what are you going to do? 500? You're going to do 1,000. So the only way to really dominate the market is you can only do what you can do. So it's just you get your select choice, your select cut of all the leads coming in. I want the big jobs. I want the $100,000 jobs, and let everyone else have the $300 to $500 grandma's house, even though we started that. Those. And then I figured maybe I can't install everyone, but I can sell the materials. So ChristmasContractor.com, we sell materials. So I do about 5,000 properties a season through all the contractors that buy from us, but you can only personally do about 500-600.
So you actually were thinking that number should be higher, right?
How many you can install in a season?
How many we do from selling materials if you added all of those up?
Maybe. But I was more thinking, how do you dominate the market even though we don't dominate the market? I mean, I think you went into a different direction. Instead of we provide an excellent service, we provide an experience, that kind of thing. But, you answered how you want to answer. It's okay.
Yeah, I think if I really was I was the only person dominating Houston, Texas, I think I'd be more confident of saying some stuff like that. But, I feel like we're still finding our way here.
Of course. I mean, and you have the trial and error. I mean, but our how we do business is, providing a service and experience for our clients. So in my opinion, that's why we're where we're at, at this point in our life.
True that.
Personally, big commercial properties and stuff.
How are you able to get in touch with those type of people for people who are looking to land those big jobs?
So basically, I put it on 1.5
sure
so we
did.
can get to it faster.
Not even like this in general.
I think it's once you, like right now you're on this right here. You say, how do you get in touch with someone doing this? It's like once everyone knows that you're doing it, or a few people know, it's like a gravitational pull. It all comes to you. The one big HOA, they know someone that runs 6 other HOAs, and they know someone who also runs 6 or 7. So you get into that space and you get into that room and you do a good job on this one, it turns into 10. It just keeps multiplying as long as you keep your values and quality in the right place. And that's how it catapults for us in a big way.
Yeah. So as an entrepreneur, what gave you that mindset to be an entrepreneur? Why not just do the 9 to 5?
Is it a personality?
I think so.
Is it a
Well, it's like, why not do a 9 to 5? It's because nobody would hire me, to be honest, right? Like nobody wants to hire me. I'm unemployable, so I have to start my own business. And he's like, well, why don't you do a 9 to 5? I'm like, have you met me? You know what I'm saying? Have you met me?
I would say so.
If you ask my wife, she'll tell you I have a problem with authority. And I do. To be quite honestly, I don't think I'm, a corporate America type of person, even though I run a corporate America type of business now. But to be perfectly frank, I've been fired from every company I've ever worked for because, as an alpha male, as you are, you step into a situation, there's 2 types of leaders. There's a natural born leader and there's a situational leader. A natural born leader, it's just natural for you to step into a situation and lead, where a situational leader, you need to be told when is your moment to lead. And a natural born leader, you need to learn when not to lead, when it's appropriate not to lead. And that's something that I learned the hard way, because you go into a sales business or you go into a company and you're like, no, we should do it this way. We should do it this way. And someone's like, get this guy out of here. He's fired. And I feel like, me telling the story, I feel like it was me. It's just, I feel like I'm a natural born leader, and working for a company just never worked out. So that you resort to, you have to be an entrepreneur with your mindset. And once you do it, there's no way to go back to work for someone else, in my opinion. Once you taste it, there's just no way to go back.
So once you have that mindset, you have that personality trait that makes you want to just be an entrepreneur, do it your way. And as you
So I didn't really hear
I need some freaking coffee. Keep watching this thing.
Everyone watches YouTube videos and podcasts on 1.5, but this is normal stuff. This is normal stuff. Anyway, now I did make a statement. I said, if you ask my wife, she'll tell you I have problems with authority. Now, what do you say about that?
Oh, that's 1,000%. You don't like being told what to do.
Oh, no question. Just 1,000%, huh?
No question about it. That is 1,000%. You don't like being told what to do. If something's not going well and I have to interject, it's a, you have to hear it a few times, and then you come back and say, you know what? I came with this great idea, and then you say whatever I said, and it's all good.
That doesn't even sound like what happened.
Oh, it's 1,000%.
All right.
I can name a few examples, but
all right, we'll move forward. We'll move forward.
On.
All right.
creating this ecosystem under Kingdom Christmas Lights, how are you able to retent and create that ideal company culture?
It doesn't happen because you set up some.
So,
I don't mean it was question. I've lost it.
The question is, you're running this company, Kingdom Christmas Lights, right?
Yeah.
Now, how do you have like such a winning culture? How do you have such a good culture with a seasonal business? And then it was like, you're right. Maybe if I'd have got the questions ahead of time, I could have said something different.
Yeah.
But it was like, good company culture.
We do have a company culture.
But I was thinking, how would you answer that? How would you have answered that?
Our culture is our love for Christ and Christmas, and helping provide for the guys that work for us that are more seasonal. That's what we do. I mean, that's our culture. We are very family oriented. We are, we help everybody out, even though they're our competitor. We're kind to everyone. That's just the way we are. We're not cutthroat, which a lot of people in business are very cutthroat. It's just not the way we've gone.
Okay. That's a good answer. That's a good answer.
I know.
That's a good answer.
I know, because I said it.
That's a good answer. Maybe there's, I don't know, was there like some applause or something? That's a good answer. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
some business meeting with your friends, and then all of a sudden you got the great culture. It's years and years and years of track record. I would say probably the most important thing is do what you say you're going to do. If I tell you, hey, we're going to pay this money and for gas benefits or something, do it. If I say I'm going to be here at 12:30 for this interview, show up at 12 o'clock. Whenever you say you're going to do something, always do it. And then you have a track record of you always say you're going to do what you're going to do. And that is the company culture. Is it starts with you. Whenever there's problems with the company, it always starts from the top, regardless. It always starts from the top and goes downhill. If it's a bad company culture, it's your fault if you're at the top.
Oh yeah.
So do what you say you're going to do is very how simple it is. And then years and years of track record doing that.
I know you mentioned as you were speaking just now how there were some moments in your life that were pretty down.
So I was, before we get to the lives that are pretty down, which I didn't share with him until we got off the camera how bad it really was. But that answer, when I finished up that answer, I said, he asked me an answer, and I actually got to the answer and wrapped it up fairly quickly and delivered the packaged answer like a normal person would do. And I was like, damn, that was actually pretty good.
Oh, like a normal
All things
person.
considered, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, here's this next one. How when it got really bad, tell me how bad it really got.
How bad
right?
was it?
Yeah. How
Tell
bad?
me the negative.
Yeah. Tell me how messed up you are.
Years and years of track record doing that.
I know you mentioned as you were speaking just now how there were some moments in your life that were pretty down, and then you're able to kind of bounce back up. Without, you don't have to go into too much detail, but if you want to share like some of those key moments where I feel like a lot of people in general, whether it's business or life, we all hit those rock bottom moments, kind of what it was and how you were able to come out of that.
Falling on your face could be like being alive at your own funeral, and just watching all the stuff that you thought was important. The Chamber of Commerce and all these connections and all these friends and all these people who support you. Politics is, one day you're in and then the other day you're out. And then when you fall on your face, you realize that when everyone turns their back on you, yeah, he was my friend. Oh yeah, he did what? Oh shoot, say we're not talking to Steven anymore. And then you're that guy, and then you see the nucleus of people who they cut with you forever. Your wife, your girlfriend, your parents, your really, really close friends that cut with you no matter what. That's what you realize. That's important. You spend your whole life thinking all this other stuff is important. It's not. And those situations show that. You need to build on a firm foundation, and a firm foundation in Christ is what you should strive for. But regardless of that, build on a firm foundation. That way, no matter what kind of storms in life, that you can't be shaken. And the most important decision you make is the person that you do life with, your wife or your spouse. And that was like, I need to refocus my foundation. And then once you start that, then that's what I learned through the pitfalls of life.
Through those pitfalls of life in the
So what do you think of that answer, Laura?
That was a good answer. Took you a minute, but
Yeah, that one I was like, I'm on a roll. I got two in a row. Two of them in a row. I actually somehow answered it like I had half a brain. And then I got the question done so he could ask me another one. So, not bad for the first interview. I started getting the hang of it there. And then let's see what happens
maybe
next.
started calming down a little bit.
A little bit. Then I started getting nervous and my voice started getting all raspy. Let me see.
business aspect, have you ever also been financially in debt or?
Oh, shit, of course. Yeah, most billionaires have lost everything multiple times. But yeah, I mean, sure. Just to give you one example, in 2018, when I finally made it to Houston, born again, naked, born again in Houston. I mean, it's like you owe anybody and everybody everything. I mean, when you fall on your face, and then anyone who has child support and you're behind, I mean, that stuff adds and multiplies. So like $65,000, and we're charging you $2,200 a month on child support. I don't care what your situation was, and then you're like, this person in the bank's like, we done wrote 2 bad checks, and you done did this, and then you're just like, when you're at that situation in life, because I've been there, like homeless. I was damn near homeless in 2018, living on someone's couch. How do you get from that point? How do you come up from there? You don't have a car, and you don't have a cell phone, you don't have a laptop. How do you come up from there? Like, what's the first step? And the first step is a firm foundation, and then you just bite-sized pieces like David Goggin. You first in your mind have to believe it's possible. Only then and only then will your mind start to break down tactically how to do it. So when I met my wife, I was like, look, I know my life is messed up. I know I don't have shit going on, but I do have a plan. And let me show you this plan. And I had three pieces of paper that said, this is what I'm going to do. And this is what I'm going to do in the next 5 years. And I'm going to start this business. I'm going to start this ministry. And I'm going to start this right here. And then we're going to move here and this and this. And she's living with her mom going through a situation. I'm like practically homeless, borrowing someone's vehicle to go knock doors and do pressure washing when I first moved to Houston. And then it was like, that's where it started, bro. And how we got to $1 million in a couple of years, that's a God thing, bro.
For sure.
That's a God thing, period.
Yeah, I love that answer.
Yeah, but that sounds right.
So as soon as I started talking to him about God thing, I thought that'd be a good way to wrap up that question, because here I am 3 in a row. See, 3 in a row answers that are halfway decent, and we got to the point. Or maybe because it's on 1.5 speed, it sounds like I got to the answer faster. But either way, what are you laughing at?
Yes.
But anyway, at this point, I'm like, let me get some water before you ask me another one that I'm not sure how to answer. And I don't even think I even took a sip of water, because I already just wanted to start talking again. I'm trying to talk myself out of this tunnel that I made for myself. But yeah.
How important was having that support system with your partner / wife in that specific moment? Do you feel like you'd be here where you are now if it wasn't for her?
No way. No chance. And neither would she. That is like the core fundamental, because if I gave you $10,000 today, what would you do with it? And it's a mindset. Are you thinking the future and you're going to invest it or you're going to do something with it? Or most people say, well, shit, let's go to Vegas. or 10 grand, you know, I was really looking for these rims on my truck, you know, and these kind of things. They're just complete waste of money. But if it's important to you, it's not, you know. So at the time, just any kind of blessing, it was like any kind of thing that happened was like, oh, what a blessing of something that we never had. And that's how it started. To be honest with you, I couldn't even afford a laptop. Well, I didn't have a laptop at the time. And my wife, who had a $400 Best Buy gift card.
Nice.
She said, sometimes I'll buy a few things on this and I wait till my tax returns. And then when they give me the money, I can pay it off. And you're saying that if you only had a laptop, you think you can start this business? If I just, it won't be a nice one, but if I just get you some kind of laptop, do you think maybe that would be enough that you can get the business started and we can chase this dream you talked about? And I was like, yeah, I think so. I really do. And I sat there in her mom's bedroom, you know, not her mom's bedroom, her mom's house in our bedroom. Sorry, Mom. Anyway, we sat there in the house, just in this one little bedroom in the house. And I just sat there and she was working at some place. She eventually quit and worked with me. And I just sat there and just started Kingdom Christmas Lights right there. Right. And that's where it started. That was like year 1 in 2018. And how it got from there to here, I'm telling you, just God thing. It was amazing.
So then it was like, okay, so I got through the whole part of telling them that like I was pretty much homeless and you were in a bad way. Somehow it's like, you know, you're living with your mom and I was in the bedroom at your mom's house. And then I'm like,
you were in my mom's
I was in your mama's bedroom and stuff. And it was like, what? I mean, not her mom's bedroom, in our bedroom at her mama's house when we were living. Anyway, then it was like, just get to the point and change the subject because that was stupid too. So maybe the three good answers in a row streak was over here. So then I'm really starting to like, okay. And then he starts. I think he starts asking me the God stuff
He
right
does.
here.
What's the projection or the 5-year plan now with Kingdom Christmas Lights?
That's a scary, man. That's scary.
So that's true because he said, "What's your 5-year plan?" And I wasn't sure because I had a 5-year plan
And we'd already
to
tackled
get
it
to
before.
where we got now. And then like, okay, what's the next 5-year plan? And that's the one that we didn't really have thought out. But look what I said here.
You have the carrot in front of you and you're chasing it so long and then you finally get it. It feels like you arrived. It's like, I got it, you know, like I'm in the American Dream studio. You know what I'm saying? I'm with Steven Martinez over here. You know, I'm like, this is the pinnacle of I've arrived. I don't need to accomplish anything else.
I think the pinnacle is getting to heaven. Meeting God.
Well, I'm just talking about the short-term things.
Yeah,
like 5 years ago, I'd love to be in the situation I'm in now. And now I'm living it. Like, cool, great.
Yeah.
But the struggle is, okay, you've accomplished your 5-year plan. I mean, that's a milestone, but that's not the end game. What is your next 5-year plan? And that's something that Laura and I, we've been really struggling to hear what God thinks, because I know what I think my plan should be, but you know, what does he think our plan should be for the next 5 years? What is his plan for our life?
Yeah.
And that's something that I've been struggling to really hear because you get busy.
Yeah.
You get real busy and you get kind of lost where you're like, get busy listening. What is this still small voice that's telling you this is the direction you're supposed to go? It's harder to hear it when you are closer to the top of the mountain. It's easy to hear it in the valley.
Yeah.
But dog, once you get up there, it's hard to hear what is the next step. So I've been trying. I haven't been as successful as I should be, but between her and I, we're listening to find out. But I don't know. It's a great question. What is the next 5-year plan? Great question, but that's something that we really need to figure out.
Have you guys done the ministry already stuff? I know you mentioned something about ministry.
My ministry was to help people start their own business.
Okay.
I really felt like if you look at the young men in the world and you look at some of the troubles, whether it's incarceration or it's you know, they wind up into addiction or they just someone just never slapped the shit out of them when they were younger. I mean, just parents never taught them something.
Yeah.
But a lot of these kids, they all have the same thing, and they all have a similar thing that's happened to them. Is there was a man at some point that never took their place in that kid's life. That young boy never had a man that took their place in their life, so no one ever taught them, and they end up raising themselves, or they seen not just something good, they seen the worst things. And those young men, I just felt like if I could help more men take their place in life, it would be better than helping the kids. Is helping the man take their place in life. So it was, you know, there's more than just Sunday. There's more than a Sunday service where you can scale tall buildings with a single bound. You know, there's also a Monday and there's a Tuesday and there's a Wednesday. So it's like, where do you work and how do you actually take your place? So I thought about that a lot. I thought business creation and having a kingdom business, Kingdom Christmas Lights, Kingdom Roof and Fence, Why Kingdom Ministries, or ChristmasContractor.com. It's really just pouring into these young men, and a lot of them are doing very well. But pouring into these young men, helping them not, you know, financially and in other ways take their place in their family. That's where my heart's at, and that's where our heart's at.
I think you got your answer just now to your question.
Yeah, so he's thinking that maybe that he helped me reveal my 5-year plan here, which I don't know if that's what happened, but I was able to finish the question and volley it back so he can get a word in. So that in itself was a success.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, what does the next 5 years look like? Because we already got that, you know. But how do you take it to a whole nother level that you don't see right now? That's the mindset, right? You see it in your mind, but your eyes don't see it. So you keep on doing those things until your eyes see what your mind has already seen. What is 5 years? What do you see in the next 5 years? It's like, good question. But we're looking forward. We're going to the Bahamas. We're going to search for answers next week.
Nice.
No, we are. We're going for 8 days.
So I know you mentioned like leadership and someone, you know, being able to guide a young man in your trajectory of your life. Did you ever have a mentor, anyone like that? That kind of guy?
So like, did I ever have a mentor in my life? You're like, did I ever have a mentor? Yeah, I can think about 4 or 5 mentors actually, but you know, you got to go with the old trusted, dear old dad. You know what I'm saying? If you got a good dad, you got to go with dad, right?
Dad.
Okay.
Oh, dude. I didn't realize how lucky I was until I seen other people's dads or lack thereof. My dad was probably the greatest example of what a real man looks like.
Awesome.
I remember a story like when I was younger. He was an alcoholic. In my pop, people drink and they have fun, pool party and all kind of shit. So you're at a pool party and then they're all drinking and smoking and doing things that people did back in the 80s. And then my dad lost his license he got a DUI and lost his license. He lost his job being a milkman driving his truck.
Oh, wow.
And then he's like, it was like the music stopped. Friends stopped coming over. No more pool parties. He's in was it Alcoholic Anonymous or whatever?
Yeah.
And then my dad was like, I'll never make that mistake again in my life. He quit drinking and never drank again until he was 50. He was working 3 jobs. He was walking to the gas station, working as many hours as they let him. He'd walk to the grocery store and work there. And he even worked at a printing press. And he was just walking to those jobs for the 6 months his license was suspended. And as a kid, and no more drinking, no more hanging out with friends to do that. I'm changing my life completely. And just being a kid in a family and watching that was like the greatest example of what a man looks like, in my opinion. Pops, but he's a hard worker, man. He's one of those, you work 6.
So that would be a good time to like stop. But then I seen that Steven was just kind of had this look on his face, like he didn't want to jab a word in there and try to stop me. So then it was like, I guess I gotta keep talking, right? So here, then I just kept going there.
Oh, Jesus.
60 hours a week, and I missed all your games and I missed all your stuff. And my job is to, provide for the family. And maybe I have some of that, that I do practice on my, nowadays they'll say family's the most important thing, son.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the way I was raised. It was working and making money was the most important thing, growing up. But
So do you think as an entrepreneur, there's like a life balance? Is that a such thing as that?
Oh, here we go with
that's what
this.
business you're in.
Okay, so now
Here we go with this crap.
Now he's talking about family and life balance, and it's like, at the end of that about my dad, I was like, the thing about dad was he was never at the games and all this kind of stuff. This dude worked all the time. He worked all the time. He made good money, but he worked all the time. He was up at 3 o'clock in the morning to go to work. Milkman. I was a milkman also, and his father's a 4th generation milkman. But dad was a worker, and so he just worked. That was the balance. Mom worked also and tried to help us out. And when he got home, he'd whip her butt if that was what was promised throughout the day, if he had to. But other than that, dad was, just working and helping support the family in that kind of fashion, and some other ones, but, definitely on that one. And so he's asking me about my personal work-life balance. And if you ask Laura, that's probably a topic that we tread on lightly.
Yes, it's definitely a lightly tread. It's probably, there's 2 questions he asked you in this whole thing, and this is one of them that I'm like, man, that answer sucks.
Yeah, that was like, hey, how do you think when we got, after it was over and we got into the car, and I was like, well, how do you think I did? And she's like, well, I can tell you one thing that I wish you didn't say. And then I was thinking, there's a lot so far that we've already heard today, but it's like, which one out of all these things was it? And then you said that one with the work-life balance. That's the one that I wish you would never have said that. And it's so true. And everyone agreed with me. That was the first video clip I put out of this one.
Everybody agreed with you.
You're in a 9 to 5. Of course, you gotta have balance. If you're in
As an entrepreneur.
52 weeks. Well, for us, it's different. My life is completely Christmas lights. So there is no balance. There's no such thing. It's from October 1st to December 15th. It's 18-hour days. There is no family balance. 0. Then work slows down and you can kind of pick up the pieces and have a 2 weeks that is your turn for Christmas. You take the lights down in January till February 1st in Houston. And then I don't have to do anything for 4 months. That is the balance. But there is no work balance for us. But for a normal entrepreneur, I think you have to shut off massive areas of your life. There's no way you're going to be successful and put parameters on yourself that you have to be off work at 5 o'clock every day.
Yeah.
Not when you're starting. It ain't going to work like that. It's like being at war. You're not sitting there like the bullets are flying at you and you're like, what time are we stop shooting at each other? 6:30?
Yeah.
And what's for dinner? This is not a thing.
Yeah.
You're in war.
Yeah.
You're fighting for the life that you want to live.
Yeah.
And then if you want to wave that white flag at 5 o'clock, the enemy is not stopping. That devil's doing push-ups waiting for your ass.
That's true.
And that's what life is like. So, a healthy balance, I don't believe in that. But once you get to a certain part, that is success, is to get to where you're going and then also have a healthy balance. But I don't think entrepreneurship, focusing on healthy balance, is really that important at the beginning because there's no such thing.
So, well, I mean, that was a good answer, I think.
In the beginning. I mean, yeah, whatever.
I'm not sure what Laura is saying.
What I'm saying is when Ron and I started and we'd have a pot to piss in and the phone wasn't ringing very often. And, we grilled very often. We danced on the porch. The kids played in the backyard. We built the tree house. We did all kinds of stuff. And as we got busier, we still did all the work. And, then things don't happen as often because we don't hire people to assist us or whatever. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I guess
I can pull up pictures and show you. I mean, I got all kinds of pictures.
the fact
I
that
got proof.
the fact that I always was working, and even when I was off, I was building playhouses and stuff. It was just nonstop, always working.
It's different. You made it sound like
Yeah,
You
I
didn't
think
make it sound very
I
nice.
think business ownership is really for like 5% of people.
Of course.
I think business ownership is for 5% of people, and anyone that has it in their mind, work-life balance, that is the last thing that you need to be thinking about when you're talking about starting a business is, well, let's come up with a plan for work-life balance. That shouldn't even play into any kind of equation if you're really starting out and you're trying to get after it in a service industry kind of thing, or if you're trying to build a business from nothing. It's going to take you a minute to get there, and you're never going to get there fast enough to show you that, hey, I can make more money with this business than working for this person. Because if you want to work a 9-to-5, working for someone else is the best bet, 100%. If you're not willing to put the hours in for success, just stay in your lane and get paid for the hours you are willing to sacrifice, and don't worry about this work-life balance. You'll get plenty of balance, believe me. But business ownership ain't for you if that's what's important to you in the beginning, in my opinion. But so that's the one where he tripped me up. So it's like,
you good.
how important is having God in your foundation? How important is that to you? You're like, how important is that to me? That's a great question. I didn't think you were going to ask me that question. I didn't think you cared about that, or you're just trying to trip me up. But
No.
listen to what I had to say here. I had to really freestyle on this one. So when I said that, she was like, yes, Stephen. Yes. See, what Ron is saying is what you need to be hearing right now. Right. So that's why she said it was like the best interview that they have heard. And apparently that he engaged her. He proposed to her. Right.
Yeah.
Here, let me pull that one up. He proposed. Oh, did I not even have that thing shared?
We were just watching you drink your drink.
You were? I wasn't over here.
No.
When were you going to say that?
I don't know. I was just enjoying myself.
Jeez.
I was going to click it. I'm like, oh, wait a second. He's drinking his drink. Let's watch that instead.
No one can hear that either, huh?
No, I could hear it.
No, you can hear it because you're in our sound system.
Oh, it wasn't playing?
No, they can't hear that now. All right.
We were just sitting there in silence.
Yeah, all of our listeners. All right. Anyway, so here's what you missed is something really good.
Are you sure that wasn't playing?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm positive.
Oh, maybe.
So a healthy balance is really that important at the beginning because there's no such thing.
And as you're creating that and you're creating that foundation, how important was having God in the foundation for you?
Oh, dude, it was the cornerstone. For me, it feels weird talking about it because you ever go to the beach,
yeah,
and then I'm a type of person, I come from the Washington, D.C. area, so I'm always skeptical of people's intentions, and I always look at people. I give them the benefit of the doubt and whatever, but you always got the eye like, if you try to pull a fast one, I didn't see that shit before. But you go to the beach, and, you got your little chairs and your cooler and your umbrella, and you have a good time. And then you say, let's go out in the water, and we'll play. And then you're out there. You've been to the ocean, right? Out in the water. So you're out in the ocean and stuff, and you're playing, you're riding the waves, and all of a sudden you look, and you're like, whoa, shit, where's my chair? Someone that ran off with my cooler and my chair. And then you're like, what? And then it's just that moment that you realize you drifted. You're not realizing it, but you thought you were sitting still, and you thought this is where you're at, but just there was a moment of realization you drifted from where you thought you were. And that's kind of my story from where I started. You turn up and look, you've been running business, and then you realize you've drifted from where you started. The beginning of it was definitely, Christ at the center. And then now I would say I find myself drifting, but we're constantly trying to re-anchor ourselves back down. And luckily I have my wife, who is I'm supposed to be the leader when it comes to that, but she definitely does point me in the right direction and say, Ron, you know what? This is the guy that you're supposed to be. This is the direction you're supposed to be going, but you're the leader. I'm gonna let you say it, but I'm waiting. Go ahead. Okay. Let's go. So
I think that's the same thing with me and my part.
So yeah, anyway, sorry. That's what I thought you had already seen. But yeah, it was like, there was this, my mind was saying, this is why I think I've been drifting away from God, but my mouth would not say it. It's just, I would not say that, even though I just kind of danced around it. It was like, that's what I was really trying to say, and I just could not say it.
I think we complement each other in a lot of beautiful ways, and I think her foundation with Christ is one of the most amazing things I've ever seen in anyone, and it definitely sparks an amazing compatibility, right, where she can complement me, and she's actually all guided me towards Christ much more when I was kind of drifting away from the church. It's like the lifeguard, like, hey, it's this way.
You're like, no one stole your stuff, sir. It's over there. You just wasn't paying attention. You drifted.
So how important, and this is, I think, a cool topic, because I'm a firm believer in money is an extension of who you are. I think at the core end of it, as a business owner, the foundations are upon the person's moral values. But as a Christian entrepreneur, getting money for the first time, whether they're young, obviously money has a lot of influence in different ways. What would you recommend or advise to a Christian entrepreneur that wants to scale his business, do everything the right way, and stay grounded?
See, like when he started staying on let me ask you about Christian business owners and stuff. It was like, I don't know that there's a difference between and it was like, that's a good question. I mean, now I could probably say something different that sounds a little better than what I said here, but check this out.
I don't know about the Christian entrepreneur, because everyone's on the level playing field when it comes to being in business. Is a dog eat dog shark kind of business.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're the type of person that you're yielding the right of way for everyone on the interstate, you're never going to get there because you're too nice. You have to understand that this is a nonprofit. This is a for-profit business. So you need to, whatever, you have to take off one hat and put on another one. I know you're nice, and I know you're a very nice person, and you want to give things to people and stuff like that. Do that on your nonprofit. If that's your heart, do that nonprofit and do that, or your outreach, but that's not your business. Your business is for profit, and you need to be thinking about that all the time. And so it's not really how to be nicer and be more compassionate, because most of you are a Christian business owner and you identify with that. You already got that part down. It's like, now we need to rough you up a little bit and show you what real business is, because that person who stole your yard sign, he doesn't care about your Christian business. That guy that, is deleting your post or saying, I wouldn't do business with so-and-so. Those people don't care about you. You need to jump in that game, and you need to fight that fight with everyone else and learn how to do that. But having a heart, that there's some lines that you're not going to cross, having compassion. But as far as the going above and beyond and having a heart for that, you have to separate the for-profit and the nonprofit part. And I would say that would be my advice.
That's great advice, actually. How did you come up with that?
So that's great advice until I got in the car on the way home, and then Laura said that was not good advice. You should have said, do you remember what you told me?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
You said, why didn't you say that you have a good morals, a moral compass, and your Christianity? You said something else.
Yeah, something like that.
You were like the moral compass, and by the standards and the quality that or something like that. You had like the perfect thing to say that I should have said, and then I was like, oh. So when I left, I thought I did a good job until I heard you recount some of the things I've said, and it was the worst thing you said was this time management stuff. And then the second thing is this Christian business owner. It's about having a good moral, what did you say?
Yeah, good moral compass.
Having a good moral compass, and that's what keeps you grounded about doing the right thing. And I was like, oh man, I should have said that. Anyway, but then I just kept talking. Check it out.
The name Kingdom Christmas Lights. It's a very unique name.
A pastor, Pastor Keith from Elevate Life Church. If you elevate your thinking, you elevate your life. Which is so true. It's all about the way you think.
I agree.
You think, we do. But What was the question?
The name.
Yeah. He said, how many people own their own business? And then you're like, me, I own my own business.
Yeah.
And then it's like, yeah, it's your business. And then you give to God, right? So if you gave it to God, aren't you in your Father's business? Would you tell someone, hey, I don't say, hey, I own my own business. You say, I work in my Father's business. And so when I first started the company, I said, we work in our Father's business. So the pressure washing company was our Father's pressure washing. And I was baptizing people's bodies. And then, it was like, I'm a military veteran, but I didn't want to be known for that because there's a certain stereotype of, if you're a veteran, you say you're going to be here at 9, you show up at 9:05. Now, a veteran doesn't do that. So I just said, I'm in my Father's business and I'm just going to give the business to him and whatever he says that we're going to do. And here's the plan. So I don't want to make it about me because it ain't about me. It's kingdom, and we're going to do kingdom Christmas lights, and he's going to grow this, and he's going to put all the gravitational pull from the right things and repel the things that are wrong. And that's how we started, and that was a great idea, just doing our Father's business.
You guys, now Christmas lights has been for how many years again?
I've been doing it for 12, but Laura and I have been doing it in Houston since 2018. So it's our 8th season. Or she always corrects me and says, no, we've been married for 7 years. We've been business for 8, we've been married for 7 or something like that. She always corrects me on the years, but it feels like forever, man. And I tell you, there's nothing like pulling the yoke. I feel sorry for the entrepreneurs that the wife does, or the wife or the husband or whatever. They do this job, and then the other one does this job, and they really don't work together. They work together, but they don't work together. Having a wife that you both work together at the same job, and you're both pulling the yoke together, that was something I never experienced, and there's been nothing like it. I feel sorry for people who haven't experienced that. That's been the key to success for us, is both of us pulling the yoke together.
Do you think that could be a little stressful at times, would you say?
With the wrong person. Most people can't be around each other longer than 15 minutes without fighting and pulling each other's buttons. Or pushing. Laura and I were together. I mean, she's right over here. I mean, she's still right over here, everywhere and anywhere I go, and we're together all the time. It's just one of those connections that when you find the right person, you just can't get enough of each other, regardless of how many years it's been. And it's been like that. We've been in the bottom and we've been on the top, and no matter where we go, we're together and we're super happy, man. Can't get enough of each other.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
I know we're running a little.
See, no, wait. We just, no matter where we go, we just can't get enough of each other.
Yeah.
And then he's like, hey, we're running out of time, but we're running out of time.
A little short on time. Let's go.
A little short on time,
That's
but
it.
there
I
might
have
be
enough.
one more question after all this.
Short on time. But last question for you is: so if we had a young entrepreneur that was starting up his own business venture, what are 3 tips that you would highly suggest for someone who's starting up?
So the 3 tips, right? This was another one I messed up. But let me give you 3 tips.
Just the tip.
Just the tip is all I'm asking for, right?
Yeah.
We know how that game ends.
Mm-hmm.
But give me 3 tips, and I was like, no business partners. That was the tip, and I just couldn't seem to go to tip 2 and 3 or any tips. I just started talking like, oh, you're going to end the podcast? No,
I got some more to say.
You're not going to do that. I'm just going to keep on talking and make you stay longer, I guess.
Business partners.
No business partners.
Yeah, don't do it. Any business partners. The business partners is because you're scared. You think that this is a big undertaking. I don't know if it's the fear of failure or fear of success or whatever it is, or this is just a big thing. I'm going to get rich, so I'm going to bring my friend with me, or man, I don't know. I've never done that before. I feel like I'm more confident with you, and we can be a business partner together. Or there's just many different reasons that people get business partners, but as soon as you get money in the bank, people change, period. And then all of a sudden you thought you needed a business partner. You don't. You think they're going to work harder. If they have ownership, then they'll work harder. But most people, they'll say, well, I can just run the business from the beach and stuff. No business partners, dude. No one cares about your business more than you. If that's your idea, no business partners. I would start with that, because many people make that mistake and it costs them a fortune to get out of it. The only partnership you have is with your wife and your spouse. That's one. And then the other one is, you got to keep on grinding, man.
So that was like polygamy. Right. No, I'm serious. So like polygamy, having multiple wives, multiple spouses, multiple partners is like what it's you're married to your wife or your husband or whatever you got. You're married to your spouse, and then you're also married to your business partner. And then when you get your money in there, you're serving 2 masters, because, your wife is saying this is the direction as a family and we need to go in this direction. But your business partner is saying, no, we need to go in this direction. And it could be 2 different things pulling against each other, where you're like, well, honey, we're going to do this work thing and I'll let you know when we come home. Or, hey guys, I think I'm gonna go in the direction with my family and I'll catch up with you later. Having the business partner and the spouse, it's like a polygamy in a way of having multiple spouses or multiple partners and a partnership in that way. That's just kind of what I thought, but I didn't say it exactly like that. Mm-hmm. But it's a good point.
Fortunate to get out of it. The only partnership you have is with your wife and your spouse. That's one. And then the other one is, you got to keep on grinding, man. You're going to hear no. It's like a deck of cards, baby. if we're looking for aces and I had 52 cards, if I flip over 4 cards, are you going to see all the 4 aces? Chances are, there's a chance you will, but more than likely not. But if you flip them all over, you will see all 4 aces. And that's what business is like. Keep going. Don't stop. It's going to get rough. Don't look at the comfort and security of when you worked at Taco Bell or when you had that decent job and you had benefits and you were working half the hours than you are now making the same money. Don't stop, man. Keep going. Chase this dream, because are you going to do it when you're 60 and 70 and 80? No. Now's your time. Now's your moment. Get off your ass and get busy. And that would be my advice for any young entrepreneur. Don't yield the right away. Jump out there and go get it, baby. That's what life's like.
So see how I tried to say to get off your ass and get busy, because he said he was wrapping it up, but I thought like the confetti would fall from the skies and the news would pan out and get off your ass and get busy, but it didn't work like that. So I had to talk a little bit more, right?
That's how you did it, bro.
Oh man, I did. Got it. Can't complain on that.
Flying on private jets, come see you. Yeah.
We're doing something that a lot of people believe in, but kind of how you said, man. At this point, we're about taking course of it, which is doing the right thing.
Yeah. It's an honor, man, to be here on the American Dream. I've never seen a studio this awesome, bro.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, don't be
Thank you,
thanks.
brother. Thank you, man. Thank you. All right, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.
So like normally when you're on a TV show or some kind of professional podcast or whatever, it would say, all right, well, that's all for now. And the camera pans out. But I can't even sit there in the chair long enough for the camera to pan out and the show to be over. I got to get up and rip the microphone out of the floor. Right? Look.
Thanks.
Oh, yeah, we did it good.
Great.
Man, it got me nervous, man.
What? How'd you get nervous? You did great, man.
My wife was like, talk about church more.
Dang. Bat.
Oh, Lord have mercy. So that's what you missed. That is the whole entire episode, and that is one of the reasons why I didn't show you the whole entire thing.
But here you are.
Yeah, but stranger things has happened. Yeah, right here. Boom. Okay, so I'm gonna show you this video one more time, and then we're gonna bang it out. But what kind of final thoughts do you have of this watch show with live reactions?
I think it's interesting. You waited 7 months after you did it to do this. It's good. I think if you ask yourself the same questions right now, I think maybe you would have some different answers. Would you?
Yeah, of course. It would all be more like what my wife would say.
Whatever.
Now, but yeah. So that's it. We actually kept it at an hour too. It worked out great, and I like the 1.5. What do you think about the 1.5?
That was crazy. I feel like I didn't have enough caffeine for that.
All right. Well, check it out, guys. Once again, next week, definitely join us. We're going to have Legacy Mike on at 3:00. Legacy Mike, where's he from? Any idea?
No idea. I have to do my little research.
You got no idea.
I got no idea. I haven't done my research.
No idea. And happy tax day, everybody.
Got to do my research.
Definitely happy tax day.
Govern me harder, Daddy. Govern me harder, Daddy.
Govern me harder, Daddy.
Govern me harder, Daddy. I love tax day.
Yeah, happy tax day, everybody. And I think that's it. What we got? Trump.
Kingdom Christmas lights. Yes, I've seen the work. Incredible work. Maybe the best Christmas lights anybody has ever seen. This Christmas, huge, just huge.
You said huge wrong.
Yeah, I know. I said do it in the Trump voice, and I wanted to say huge, Y-U-G-E, huge, but
I'm not used to doing that.
Things don't work out like you think. So once again, I'm going to show you this video that we made. This was a little quick intro of some of these AIs, and then we'll see you on the next one. And if something's going on in your life where there's something that you want, your mind sees something that's possible, you actually start believing that it's possible. Your mind starts to mentally break down tactically how to do it. There's only one thing left to do, ladies and gentlemen. That's to get off your ass and get busy.